All right, folks. Welcome to the Fox 10 and News Downstream, part of fox10phoenix.com. I'm your host, Mike Page. Happy to be here with you this evening. Just wrapped up there with Mary Kay. We always have fun together on the stream when we're talking about some trending topics all throughout the country and in the digital age as well. I have a story here that may shock you. It may surprise you, or you might be even one of them. See, Bankrate has just put out a new study saying that nearly 6 in 10 Americans don't have $500 in their savings account. Some might not even have a savings account. Some might say, what do you mean, a checking account? No. We're talking about a savings account. And 6 in 10 Americans from this new report says they don't have that type of cash. And it's really not only surprising, but I'll just say it, shocking is the better word when you're talking about that, because that just shows you how many people truly rely on credit cards. They think credit cards are their only salvation, and they'll use it until it is maxed out. And guess what? When one's maxed out, they'll get another one, and that turns into a horrible snowball effect that, unfortunately, for so many Americans, find themselves trapped to their own money. They get a paycheck and they're barely able to use it because they have so many bills, credit card bills, store bills, as far as, types of credit cards with stores that are at malls. Probably one of the worst ones that you could get with the highest interest rates when you're talking about department store credit cards. Isn't it funny, though? People, and I'm talking about, in general, millennials, they say they have nothing in the savings account, but boy, aren't they fast to go to that coffee store and get themselves that daily coffee, maybe even sometimes 2 times a day coffee. They have money for that, don't they? But they can't put away a little bit just in case if something happens, because unfortunately we don't live in a perfect world and things do happen. You need a new tire, car breaks down. What do? We run right to the credit card, where our grandparents knew a lot better, didn't they? They paid with cash only. They didn't have the cash at the store. Guess what? They weren't getting that item. They saved up for it. And now I think we live in a world where you're not comfortable until you have a couple credit cards. Being in debt now almost seems like, if you're not in debt, oh, you're not normal. You're not one of us. It's interesting, right? So only 41% of adults reported having enough in their savings account to cover a surprise bill of this magnitude. A little more than 20% said they would put it on a credit card, the report said. Go figure. Credit card. I hope for this new year people have an attack plan of how they're going to get out of debt. Take on the credit card bills and try to minimize it and try to lower it, so you could, when you get the paycheck, you can actually have a life. So many people are saying, maybe in the chat, they're saying, well, Mike, it's not just credit cards, it's we're not making enough money at our particular job. And you know what I say? Time to get to. Time to work for a rideshare company, even if you have to pick up some extra cash. There's so much opportunities. What I feel like the millennials and other groups of people, they're finding a way not to be productive and not to have that entrepreneurial spirit. what would you have done without a credit card if you didn't have one? You would go out there and you try to get, you put it up for eBay. You do something to try to get some extra cash. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Are we just finding a way now to make so many excuses? I've heard one person say, I'm in debt because, well, I need stuff and I don't have the money right now, but sooner or later I'll have the money and I could pay it off then. Hopefully that works out for you, but for so many Americans, keep putting away until we are swimming in our own debt there. So I thought that was interesting about that study, and I wanted to pass that along to you here. Hope you're all having a great evening. You're watching the Fox 10 News Now stream. Oh, look at this. We have a special guest now.
What's going on,
Marcy?
everybody?
Let's bring this a little bit closer.
What are we talking about?
Well, I was just talking about how we're reading this new report.
Okay.
6 in 10 Americans don't have at least $500 in their savings.
Should I reveal something? Should this be a confessional?
Uh-oh. Are you going to break it down?
Let me just tell you. Okay.
Wait, let me toss it right here. Okay.
All right. Well, because you know how we have to have a lot of outfits. We're being on air
Yes.
every day. We have to keep it fresh, get a lot of outfits. So I spend a lot more than I should on clothes. So I literally have $1 in my savings, so I don't get penalized for having nothing in it.
Oh, because you would.
I
Okay,
like
so
I like to have the cash flow in my checking account. So I'm one of these people.
Wait, do that
I know. I did it. Make it rain. Well, no, and this is something. Did you bring up the whole millennials spend more on coffee than savings? Is that what?
I didn't bring that up yet. No, but talk about that story.
Meeting. Well, we should pull it up because I don't know the exact details of it. But we heard someone in our pitch meeting. We talk a lot about millennials in a very loving way.
Yeah.
But someone brought up that there's a new study that millennials spend more on coffee every day than saving for their retirement, which I do believe, and I don't think that this is just a millennial thing. Do you? Do you think our parents, when they were 20 years old, were spending on or saving for their retirement?
Well, you know what? Maybe they weren't spending, but I don't think they were putting on credit cards.
I don't know. You're right.
See, that's the issue where people are having.
Yeah.
I don't think they had that opportunity to, though, either.
Yes, I agree.
Because how many times do you get credit card offers in the mail? I would say all the time.
All the time. They're making it easy, and I feel like if I didn't have... First of all, this leads me to one of these things that I'm very passionate about. I think that they should have a class at the end of either high school or college.
Very good.
To tell you how to balance a budget, how to do your taxes.
Yeah.
All these things that they kind of slip through the crack until you become an adult and you're like, wait a second, how do I do all this? And unless you have really involved parents that take the time to show you, you don't know.
No, you don't know.
You don't know. How do you do taxes? I don't know.
Yeah.
So... I think that they really someone needs to step up and do a class. It's like adulting 101,
Yeah.
And show you how to do it.
Because life hits you really hard, doesn't it?
It does.
No,
and the tax man.
Oh yeah,
is unforgiving.
He's like this every April.
April he goes, "Where's my quiche?"
Yeah. Well, so I have the article here. Coffee. Some buy it occasionally.
Millennials spend more on coffee than retirement.
41% of them spent more money on coffee than investing.
This is according to Acorn's Money Matters report. Out of 2,000 millennials, 41% of them
That's a big number.
Yes. That's not more than half.
Well, it's close. It's close.
It's close to half.
Yeah.
This is interesting. But I feel like... They're closer to being a baby rather than retiring. So they've got more time.
They have a lot of time.
To make it up, yeah. And I feel like some of them are just they're just trying to make ends meet. They need some coffee to wake up and get at it.
Yeah. You know what's interesting, though?
What?
When I go
I'm so excited for this. What?
You see how you see it in my eye before
I do. I see that little, what's about to come out of that.
Well, when I'm sometimes in the nightclubs.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people really just blow it, as far as...
And it's the guys. I hate to say
I
it.
know.
It's the guys because they want to spend a little extra money to impress the ladies.
And in my head, I'm thinking, I just hope this guy's like a hedge fund manager, I
know. But truth is, he's probably a 30,000-aire with the rest of the millennials.
Oh, they call that 30K millionaire. Mm-hmm. You see it.
So kids, bottom line.
Yeah.
Stop buying that delicious Colombian roast every day.
You don't have
Put that
to.
in.
Yeah, make it a weekly thing.
Yes. Yeah.
You can
If
make
you put that $5 away every single day instead of spending it on Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts,
It's going to be
you'd
a
have
lot.
a retirement fund.
It is going to be a lot.
Yeah. And then it builds on itself.
Oh, I know.
Put something in stocks.
And you know who's? Yeah, there you go.
Play the market.
Play the market a little. Be a little day trader.
Be a little day trader.
You know?
Be your own day trader.
You
I
know,
love that.
I was. This is funny too. You know who I heard is probably the worst to get stock advice from?
Who?
Is the share ride drivers. They always seem to have an opinion, but
God bless them, but they do. They always, and it's not just limited to fiscal responsibilities.
No.
Uber drivers will give you love advice.
Yes.
They'll give you law advice.
A little
They'll
bit of
give you
everything.
A little bit of everything. I think that's that's why, people say when you get in there.
it's an
and
experience.
It's
not
an
only
experience.
it's not just a drive. It's an experience you're getting.
Yeah. It's really, and they get a whole range of customers. Millennials
Yeah.
to senior citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they seem like they feel like they're very well versed, and they've
seen a lot.
They,
They've seen the best and the worst of the valley.
I actually had one driver say, "Look, he was really cocky, and he says,
Yeah.
look, I have a real good pulse on what's going on in the world."
I bet he does,
A
though.
pulse.
I bet he does.
Yeah.
And it's just like, is his reality our reality, though?
I know.
That's the question that you have to
Yeah.
ask. I got in one, and the driver was a little shaken up, and I was like, what's going on?
Oh, no.
Who has been in here before
Yeah.
me? And he said he had just gotten this really nice young physician who had just proposed to his girlfriend.
In the Uber?
She didn't want to sign a prenup.
Mm.
And he said he had to have her sign the prenup, so they broke off the engagement, and that guy just got in his car. So he had to kind of be a therapist
Oh,
to him.
wow.
I know.
Maybe that was the family pushing the
It might have
the
been.
son. Hey,
yeah.
you better get this girl to sign it.
Well, also, I mean, he probably didn't buy coffee. He probably put away for his retirement
Yeah.
and didn't want some broad coming and taking it.
Yeah.
Swoop it in.
Giving 50 off.
Well, she's going to Starbucks every day,
Yeah.
not saving for her
Yeah,
retirement.
she was looking out for a 50 off sale.
We're assuming a lot here. We don't know. Maybe she was retiring soon. And
Not
had a
only
lot
do
in
we
her
assume,
funds.
but we generalize.
I know. I love it.
Hey, but that's fun. That
But you
makes
know
it
what
fun.
story I was ready to really switch gears, but I'm like still knee deep in it right now? The MCSO,
The body cam.
the body cam footage is incredible.
So you're following the story
Yes.
that of the naked suspect.
So I think it was a week ago today.
It was
Isn't it?
Thursday.
Yes, Thursday. Everybody kind of knows about this, raised a lot of eyebrows and a lot of questions around the valley. How did this naked woman manage to steal a deputy's truck?
Yes.
In a matter of literally seconds.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see. Have you seen it?
No, can we
It's
show
great.
it?
Can we pull it up?
Where is it? Is it at? Is it in
Well, we have
folder
to make sure
raw?
that it's blurred because obviously
Let's look at it
she's
before.
disrobed.
This looks like we can. Yeah, this is the one, because it's for Facebook.
Okay.
So let's take the people through it.
Okay. So here's
Wait, hold on. Let's.
because I really have a good play-by-play on this.
Okay, so we're showing this. Here we go.
Okay. So this is who deputies say is 31-year-old Lisa Luna from Mesa. Okay.
Okay.
They respond to a naked woman at this Gila Bend Shell station. So she walks by. He goes, "Ma'am, can I help you?"
Mm-hmm.
And she goes,
Oh, boy.
"I've been raped, but
Wow.
I'm okay." So obviously, you can hear in the officer's voice, very concerned. Goes, "Let me see if I can get you something, ma'am. Let me see if I can get you a blanket."
Yeah.
She clearly is disoriented, kind of walking around, not really answering a lot of his questions. So he goes, this is when he goes, "I think I might have a blanket or something." So he starts walking around. He goes back to his truck, and you'll see he starts digging in the back seat, okay?
Okay.
Now, all this while, and you'll see, and this is actually my favorite part, Mike, I gotta show you. So he's in the back seat, right? Looking up, digging through. Look at this. Look at her face. Right there.
Wait.
In the corner. Okay?
That was a little scary.
So he grabs the blanket. Now count seconds, right?
Yeah.
Getting the blanket, turns the corner of the truck. She's nowhere to be found. She's in there, locked it.
Oh, she
and wait
locked
for
it already.
Wait for it. Takes off.
Oh,
Takes
wow.
off.
That's
and the guy,
rough.
the poor deputy's hanging on to the side.
Yeah.
There goes the body cam.
Oh my,
I know.
that happened so fast.
So fast.
Wait, was the poor officer stuck? Like, did he have something?
Apparently he was trying to hang on, which, if anybody, this is not advised. If someone is stealing your car, do not try to hang on.
Yeah, don't
okay?
hang on.
Thankfully, he only had minor scrapes and
Sure.
bruises, was released from the hospital, but I mean, that can really,
Yeah.
that can mess you up.
Interesting, because
But it's,
when
you saw, look how quickly that happened.
I know.
Because everyone was kind of like, how did this go down? You know, how did a woman
Yes.
manage to get in the front seat and then take off? And that's how,
Wow.
because, you know, he was being a nice guy. She said that she was sexually assaulted, which I have to say, she later said, hey, that was a total lie. Nothing
Yeah.
happened to me. I was just high on meth and spice. And yeah, so that added another felony of lying to a police.
So she's looking at a lot of time.
Several felony charges. It's a $50,000 bond. She was booked into Maricopa County Jail.
Wow. Wow.
And this is why you don't do drugs, kids.
That's, folks, not today.
If you take away
not
one,
today.
If you take away one thing, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because
So-
she said in her initial court appearance, she went on for a while saying, I was not myself that day.
Oh no. No, yeah. Yeah, that
Clearly.
was. But you know what? When you look at her though, it wasn't like she was erratic though. She was just kind of more
No,
mellow, right?
A little
I thought
disoriented too.
I thought it
And
would make you all like
you have to-
erratic.
you have to agree that for as disoriented as she is, she works very quickly, as we saw.
Yeah.
It takes seconds for her to get in the truck. And I mean, that excuse of being sexually assaulted, you can hear it in the officer's voice.
Yes.
He's very concerned. He goes, okay, you're gonna be okay. We're gonna get this
Sure.
figured out. And I mean, the lie kind of matched up. I mean, she's disrobed, she's disoriented, she's acting like she just went through this ordeal. So at first you feel for her, but then you find out it's because she's on meth and spice.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh.
I know.
Now,
Not
do
a
you-
good combination.
Now, do you think if the roles were, if it was different gender, if it was a naked man, do you think that man would have been able to even get close to the vehicle? I'm saying because do you think the officer
I don't
wanted to
know.
distance himself just a little bit because he's
I
dealing
think
with a girl that's
Obviously,
naked?
you want to be as respectful as possible because of obviously what you just said.
Yeah.
I think he didn't want want to stand in front of her, making her feel
Sure.
more uncomfortable. So of course he goes, with discretion, goes to try to get a blanket. But seriously, it's. I haven't seen body camera footage like this in a while.
I know. Yeah.
In a while.
That is interesting there. So is that going to be your story for this evening as well?
This evening I'm actually on something else.
Oh.
But I feel like this will definitely run
We
again.
call it twofer.
Yeah, twofer. Yes. I've been on several stories today. Sometimes that happens. You
Hey,
know, the news business.
you know what? That's
We're
why.
always looking for the freshest stories to bring.
That's what makes it a little bit addicting too.
Yeah.
You know, you never know what you're going to get for a certain day.
Yeah.
Makes it fun to
Absolutely.
chase.
It does make it fun to chase.
That's interesting there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reading some of your comments.
Yeah, some of those comments, guys. Wow, very interesting.
Spice as in synthetic weed sold at gas stations. Is it sold at gas stations?
It could be. Could be. I know there was times.
I'm not a Spice customer, so
I know there was times where it was. I don't know how
Yeah.
you're able to buy it, but
Yeah.
interesting stuff there.
Maybe that'll be a special project.
Yeah, that could be.
The inside world of Spice.
What happens after a